201 North Mud Springs.
Well, thank you, One Town Plumber, for sponsoring our KRIM Community Spotlight program. Good morning, Rim Country. Chris Higgins in the studio this fine, what morning? Tuesday morning. How could I forget? It's Taco Tuesday. And we are going to be talking about on our Community Spotlight program about the upcoming Wildfire Symposium, and that takes place Saturday, April 12th, and that's at Gila Community College right there on Mud Springs Road here in Payson. To tell us more about the symposium is Community Risk Reduction Specialist Greg Raymond. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Chris. How are you this morning?
Doing great, doing great. How are you?
I am fantastic. I am so happy to be here and talk about this symposium.
Yes, I tell you what, just looking and watching the video promoting the symposium, looking at the agenda, a lot of great topics, information that will be put out there. And this is for all ages, correct?
Correct. There's going to be childcare provided. So if you have small ones, little ones, and you're worried about what you're going to do if you want to attend this, there's a group that has volunteered to do some activities with the kids for the whole day event. So that's one worry off of people's minds.
Yes.
And so we can get everybody that we can in Rim Country to attend this event.
Mm-hmm. And it is an event that I believe everyone in Rim Country should have this information. They should be somewhat knowledgeable, and the more knowledgeable the better, on the reduction of wildfire risk, or wildfires in general, living here in the middle of the Tano National Forest.
That's right. And because fire season has gone from a select few months to just about a year-round event now. If you noticed in our area, of course, we had the Horton fire that went into December this last year in 2024. And normally our fire season ends when we get the monsoon rains and we can pretty much call it out. This year that did not happen, and we're having that dry winter. We've had some precipitation, but not nearly enough to reduce the fire danger. It's just going to increase from here.
So tell everyone a little bit about the symposium and topics that will be covered at the wildfires.
Okay, so as you mentioned before, Saturday, April 12th, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning, we're going to have the kind of the first of its kind Rim Country Symposium, Wildfire Symposium, and this all stems from a grant that was given to us by the International Association of Fire Chiefs. They're the ones that are planning the event. They have scheduled some of the guest speakers that are going to come and speak at the Gila Community College. They've basically taken over the campus, rented the campus out for the whole day. And so full day event of activities. Like I said, childcare is going to be provided. There's going to be lots of activities for the little ones. There's going to be educational classes for adults. So basically what they're going to do is have a guest speaker that starts off the symposium, and then there'll be various breakout sessions, at least 2 other breakout sessions on topics such as fire behavior and fire-wise biology of local vegetation. So it's going to be very specific to us in our area. They're also going to be, we were just talking earlier about the state of insurance in Arizona, in Rim Country. We know that many people have, in some cases, lost their insurance, had their insurance double or triple, and some insurance companies have just pulled out of the area completely. So that's it's not just a Payson issue; it's an Arizona issue, and so they're going to have some guest speakers there that are going to address as what's going on in Arizona, what they're trying to do to help fix the situation, because we all know that a fire in any area can be catastrophic, and we rely on that insurance to back us up. We're going to talk about how to stay safe if a wildfire comes into our area. You know, right now, we have some pretty good plans in place. We've prepared for the event. We hope the event never happens, but if it does, we encourage everybody to get on Gila.gov and get the, put in your phone number and they will send you information on ready, set, and go when it's time to get out of here. Some of the things that I mean, we have developed as an organization, we are committed to the safety of the citizens of this community. We have a tabletop exercise that we do, and we can simulate different fires in various areas of not only town but outside of town, and how much time we have to notify the residents to evacuate. So that's going to be and also a subject of conversation there at the symposium.
Will that be set up, the table?
I believe we are going to set that up and run some simulations.
Yeah.
We set it up this last weekend. They had a Republican gathering at Messenger's funeral home, and we set that up. Some state representatives were there, and we ran scenarios for them to show exactly what can happen.
And just for everyone listening and watching, because I had the advantage of seeing that presented at a council meeting, and recently it was presented at a council meeting for newer council members. But the simulation table, it is a great tool because you're able to plug in whatever variables, I guess, you want. So you can determine the type of event, the severity of the event, but you can also determine or enter like fire breaks. And okay, this is our current fire break. If the fire break was not here, how would the fire react? How much time, you know, would it take for it to move from here, point A to point B? Also, if the fire break was increased, if we had a greater fire break, now how much more time does that give us? And I remember Chief Staub and Chief McCulley, and in the presentations, it's always about time. Time, and that's what you are looking at as a firefighter, is just being given as much time. How can we get as much time you know, possible, so we can react and we can start fighting the fire?
So our biggest concern is taking care of our residents. So the more time we have, the less panic that's going to be involved, the more information that can be shared as far as evacuation routes, things like that. So the more time we have, you know, our commitment as an organization here in Payson is that if we have an event, we're going to evacuate the community as soon as we can. And you're right, the simulation table, we can simulate all those things. We can simulate air tanker drops from the air tanker base in Mesa. We can simulate those fire breaks. We can, and one of our biggest pushes in our community right now is fuel reduction on your own property. So the mitigation that we actually have town code that says you have to mitigate your property. If we mitigate between 30 and 80% of the properties in our community, we can put a big dent in the spread of wildfire in our community.
So that's great, you know, great point. I just want to, you know, bring that up or go into that a little bit more for the resident or the person that says, oh, well, one home, my home, it won't make a difference. That's just not true, because collectively, it does make a difference, and that's what you can really see on that simulator. Is the difference it makes if this percentage of homes are fire-wise. Now, this percentage of homes are fire-wise. And it doesn't mean that, and like you said, it doesn't mean that the fire is going to be totally prevented, or it's not going to happen, but it's about time.
And so if people mitigating the risk of fire on their properties gives us, you know, a few more minutes on that property. It allows us to evaluate it, make sure that the residents are out. And if we do that, let's say, for an example, on Phoenix Street, if we can mitigate the property that's behind all those residences on Phoenix Street, we can slow down that fire, and we can make a big difference. We do that on the simulation table. We pick certain neighborhoods, and we do mitigation in those neighborhoods. We reduce the fuels, and it's amazing to see how the fire really slows down when it gets to those areas, and it buys us more time.
Yes. Now, also, what factors in is if a home is not, fire-wise at all, it just has been really neglected. With the new codes, that is going to become less and less likely because homes, throughout Payson are being, assessed.
Yes.
But if you have a home that, boy, it would be hard to defend, firefighters could just identify that as, we can't do anything.
Absolutely. So we go and basically do a home triage. So if there's a fire event in our area and the fire's coming, the fire front is coming, let's say a particular neighborhood, we will dedicate our resources to go out and see if that home is viable, if it's savable. If people have firewised, if that gives us the opportunity to, if they don't have large piles of leaves in their gutters or on their roof or up against the house, things that could catch fire, and that would cause danger to us, and wouldn't allow us to get out safely. But if people firewise, we say that all it takes is a rake to do some firewising around your property. We have a lot of pine trees, we have a lot of oak trees. They shed their leaves and needles, on a regular basis. But if you can keep that stuff away from your home, we call that the immediate zone, 0 to 5 feet, it makes a difference on that fire creeping up to your residence. And so those are the things. The big things, of course, we have some pretty shocking TV that we've all probably seen. The California fires, the fire brands that struck out 3 to 5 miles ahead of the fire because of the winds. That's the one thing that we absolutely can't control. We can control that on the simulation table, and that's one of the things that we do show people, that the higher the winds, the faster the flames spread, and the even more reason that you need to protect your home and be aware of what's going on around you.
So, and it's a great resource we have in town. I was just verifying, looking at the schedule, but brush pits. So the Blattner brush pit, which is out Diamond Point area.
Yes, out 260.
260 east there. First Saturday of April, so this Saturday.
We called and confirmed today that they will be open this Saturday.
There we go, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And that is a free dump for residential,
Yes.
Trimmings. They do accept donations, so if you're able to donate, it's
Absolutely.
greatly appreciated, but it's not necessary. They just want to see all that fuel being removed from Payson, taken out to the pit. Also, I got an email about the pine pit.
Yes,
And
I believe that's open now too.
yes, I'll find that as we're talking, but that one, if it's not open now, will be open soon, and that one is off of a control road.
Yes.
As you pass, what is it, the dump there,
Out on the mesa.
Yeah.
Bert,
yeah,
I can't pronounce the name.
I can't think of the name of that, but anyway, going up to Pine, and Control Road is there on the right-hand
Yeah, I believe
side.
it's the 300 road is
Yeah.
the control road. And just to give you some information on that, they take all of those trimmings that people bring in, and they actually just ground all those up and took them to the Novo Fuel Center over in Show, the energy plant. We produced this last season over 4 million pounds of fuel that was ground up to go to the Novo plant to be used as biofuel for electricity.
Wow.
4 million pounds, and to put that in context, that would run the plant for almost a month.
Oh, wow.
So our little area contributed to that for almost a month of running.
That's great. And just found the email, and that's from Elsa Stephenson.
Yeah.
She's the executive director for Pine Strawberry Fuel Reduction. Pine Brush Pit is open for the season, and that's open Sundays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. through June. And then July and August, Sundays 9 to noon. They shorten that a little bit. And it says we will be open Palm Sunday and Easter Sunday as well. But the Pine Brush Pit, again, on that 300 road, heading just before you get into Pine there. So if that one's closer for you, head up there, or go out to the Blattner Brush Pit on East 260 in the Diamond Point area. So Wildfire Symposium, again, all this information and more. We'll be at the symposium that Saturday, April 12th, starting at 9 a.m. And that's at Gila Community College right here in Payson. You had mentioned, Greg, also the Ready, Set, Go program and the alerts, readygila.com. Readygila.com is...
It's readygila.gov.
.gov.
.gov.
Gotcha,
And,
thank you.
that'll get you to the county website, and you can sign up. It's just a matter of putting in some information and your phone number, and they will send text alerts when there's notifications to be given out. And it's not just for wildfire season. If there's potential flooding in your area, if there's any sort of potential disaster in your area, that will notify you and alert you so that you can get out and be safe.
Yeah, and what's great about that is it's location specific.
Yes.
So if there's a threat in your area, you know, you will get the notification and instruction on what to do. Something you mentioned, and it made me think of, and I know this isn't in Payson or wasn't in Payson, but the Backbone fire. Remember discussions on that fire in Pine and Strawberry. How quickly they went from from set to go.
Yeah.
It was, you know, simultaneous.
Yes.
Because of how quickly the fire was moving. So something, you know, if you're new to the area, or maybe you just have not realized this, but, you know, we are told you should always be in ready mode. Always be ready. And like you said, with the fire season being extended, you just don't know.
Correct. And, you know, we suggest to people to have that ready bag, that go bag. Have some of your important papers in it, especially in the summertime. We recommend that you keep your car full of fuel, so that if you have to travel an extended distance, you're not going to be stuck on the side of the road where the fire is potentially impinging. Make sure, like I said, take those medications. Take at least a week's worth of medications, and same thing for pets and animals. You know, you're going to want to take some food for them. You know, a lot of times, especially with bigger animals, they set up a designated area where you can take them, and people donate, you know, hay or food for those animals. But you have to be prepared and ready to go for at least a week. You know, be it down in the valley or somewhere else here in Arizona with a relative, or in a hotel room or something. But be ready. That's the thing, is you don't want to be running around your house when you get that go signal to you know, I need to find this, I need to find this. You need to be ready and leave, because we're trying to create as much time for you to get out without being in a rush and causing danger to others.
Yeah, preparation
Absolutely.
is very important. And I know I've heard it said, it is not a case where you, fire department, police department, they're going to wait until the fire is right on top of the town or the community before that go order is given.
Correct. There again, in some of the simulations that we've run, we've had fires predominantly in the summertime. Our winds out of the southwest. We've simulated fires that have started in the Tonto Basin area with winds, you know, just 30 to 40 miles an hour. The way that fire comes up, we estimate that we have just a couple of hours in some cases. In some scenarios, we've had a day's notice. But the thing is that our goal is to keep the citizens safe and to protect them, and we want to do that and give as much notice as possible so that we don't create a panic in our citizenry.
No, that is very important. So again, great information, and really all residents are encouraged to go to the Wildfire Symposium, and that is April 12th, starting at 9 a.m. at Gila Community College, campus 201. Is it North Mud Springs?
201 North Mud Springs Road, and like I said, there's childcare. There's going to be breakout sessions. They'll start off with a keynote speaker, and then allow you to go into one of the breakout sessions. And then in the afternoon, they'll have another keynote speaker. And if you want to attend the other breakout session, you'll be able to attend everything all the information that they're giving everybody. They're going to be presenting it twice in the same day, so that if you miss one, you can go to the other in the afternoon or morning, whichever you choose.
So it'd be good to talk a little bit about community risk reduction. One of the roles, I believe, that this program has is assessing
We do.
homes. So
Yes.
this is something any resident in Payson can contact you
Yes.
to get a home assessment done.
So we have. I'm certified in firewising. All of the like Chief McCauley certified. We have a group of volunteers that are all certified in firewising, and we will come out if you contact the fire department. We will come out and do a firewise assessment on your property, and that just gives you a better idea of what you may need to do for mitigation. That they use the same sheet is used nationwide for mitigation. We talk about the different zones, the immediate zone, which is 0 to 5 feet around the home, and then because we have so many juniper trees and oak trees and pine trees, we don't want things touching your home. We want it to be away from the home at least 10 feet. If you can't do that, trim it up. We want things trimmed up off the ground so that if a fire starts on the ground, they don't have these ladder fuels, that they can climb the trees and then get into the crowns of the trees and just start spreading, one to the next to the next. So we will send free of charge our volunteers out there to give you an assessment, and not to scare you by any means, but to give you information so that you can prepare your property to be firewised.
Yeah, and that's something to really emphasize, is this isn't a scare tactic.
No.
Or not, trying to make you nervous, scare you, say, oh, you better do this, or else. It's giving you information. It's giving homeowners information. But also, it's a very stark reality right now, because you look at insurance companies.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned this earlier, how many homeowners, their policies are not being renewed, or their policy is doubling, tripling, quadrupling on their home. And so collectively, this is something we can do as a community, is to really focus on firewising our properties. And it won't maybe have an impact right away. For some it will, because when that agent comes out and they're taking pictures of your home,
Absolutely.
it's the difference between being able to be insured or not be insured.
Absolutely.
But we're hoping, collectively as a community, as a region, that it can be shown to insurance companies, hey, all of these measures are being put in place, all of this is being done to lower the risk. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, because we have, I would say, an extreme risk in this area, and if we can reduce that risk, if we can mitigate between 30 and 80% of the properties, that's town properties, that's private properties, If we can do that, we can make a huge difference in the way the fire spreads in our community. If we can slow the fire down, we can attack the fire better. Time is our friend. If we can take it out of some of the really heavy fuels that are very, very dangerous, they cause a lot of the fire brands to jump out ahead of the fire and create all of that smoke. If we can slow it down, then we can get resources to really make a dent in it. We do have the air tanker base down in Mesa that has the big, I believe it's either 757 or a 7777 that drops, and we've actually used it a couple of times on fires that have been on the beeline, and it's an amazing sight to see. That aircraft buys us time. It allows us, there again in the simulation table, we've done simulations where we've done drops in certain areas around town where the fire is headed. It significantly slows the fire down and gives us time to get resources. Because that's the other thing. Payson is still a small town, and some people forget that, that our population is 16,000 plus. We don't have 100 guys on fire trucks that we can send out immediately.
Yeah.
We have 3 people on each truck at each fire station. We have 3 fire stations. So we have 9 people total that go out and immediately start on this fire. We have other resources around us. We have our partners. We have Pine Strawberry. We have Hell's Gate, Christopher Creek. We can call additional resources in to help us with manpower. But that's one of our limiting factors. We know that federal resources, the Forest Service is here if they're available in town with some of their engines. They're there to help us as well. So we have great partnerships. It just depends on how fast we can slow that fire down and make a good attack on it.
You mentioned the Forest Service, and a wonderful resource that was recently added to our community, or just outside our community, is the Helibase.
Yes.
And wow, did a tour of that, and that is a great facility to have, and that makes a big difference with firefighting in this area, in this region.
Absolutely. Getting air resources out and available to us, and having air resources so close by,
Yes.
we can jump on things very quickly, and that's what we want to do. We don't want to sit and let things linger. We want to jump on it and get it put out or get it contained as fast as we possibly can, so that we do reduce that risk of mitigation.
Yeah, and then also District 1 Supervisor Steve Christensen, I know he comes on once a month talking about what's happening in the county, and he's mentioned a couple times the efforts, or the county purchasing the new bladders.
Yes.
So the bladders being put out in the county, replacing old bladders, which is great that there is that investment being made.
Yeah, if you go East Verde Estates, for example, just the county, I believe, put in several 5,000-gallon water tanks just for firefighting
Nice.
in that area. The bladders that are around the county, Christopher Creek, if you ever go out there to eat or anything like that, you'll notice that there's a big water tank out there. Well, that water tank is for water for firefighting, to supply engines and things like that in the event of an emergency. So the county is on board with us. Everybody really in Gila County is ready. We don't want to ever see it happen, but the fact is that it's real, it's with us, and it will be forever, as long as you live in RIM country.
Yeah, that's just the reality. Like you said, it shouldn't be a case where anyone is living in fear.
Right.
Where you're living in fear all throughout the summer. There's the potential for a forest fire to happen, but it's about being prepared.
Yes.
And that's something that I really appreciate with the Payson Fire Department, all the surrounding fire departments, Gila County, their emergency
Their emergency management.
Emergency Management Division. is just the preparation. All of the preparation that is put in throughout the year to get ready to the Forest Service, Tonto National Forest Service. But that's what makes the difference, because if it happens, it happens, but it's about being prepared.
Absolutely, and even though today is April Fool's Day, I'm not fooling around here, but our fire season started today, essentially. Historically, from April 1st through the end of June until we start to get monsoons, this is when the greatest risk is given to this area. So just know, for the folks out there that may be very scared, may be fearful, know that the organizations around here are prepared. They're here to protect you. That's one of the reasons. That's where your tax dollars go. You can see the trucks and the men running around town. Just know that we are prepared, and we do this for a living, and we're here to protect you. So, do all the things that you can. Be ready when you get the go signal. Be ready to go right then and there. And there's information. If you want more information, please feel free to contact me at Payson Fire Station 11. It's the main station right here off of Main Street, and we will do fire-wise assessments for you. We will help you be prepared to be ready in this environment. And like I said, thank you for everything, for touting this Wildfire Symposium. This is going to be really incredible. It's a collaboration. It's not just Payson Fire doing this. This is the International Association of Fire Chiefs and the Gila County Fire Officers, and the Arizona Department of Forestry plays a huge role in the fire management of this area, and our partners with the Forest Service. There's a lot of things going on at the federal level, but we can rest assured that they're ready as well. We've been in talks with them for weeks and months now. We're geared up. The guys have gone and done their fit tests. I was in the bays today. All of the gear is out, being packed in bags, and we're going to be ready for this fire season.
Gotcha. And just looking on the Facebook page, there is an event that was created for this Rim Country Community Wildfire Symposium. Shows 8 o'clock childcare starts. So does it actually open at 8, but then maybe classes or presentations start at 9?
So you can come there, and I believe they're going to have refreshments. Okay. You'll be able to talk to your neighbors or meet some new folks, and then the real symposium starts at 9 o'clock. So you'll be able to get there, not be rushed, and sit down by 9. To get this thing going.
Gotcha. And childcare again provided until noon. So again, 8 o'clock to noon, you can come get some information, talk to the different organizations and people that are at the different booths, set up there. Check out some of the presentations, and it will be, I know, just a great day with a lot of excellent information being provided.
We will be there for it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Greg, for coming on this morning. Yeah, this is a great event. Thank you to everyone involved with it and that was responsible for getting it put together.
And thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. It's important to get the word out.
It is. Well, thank you everyone for listening and watching. Again, share this video with friends on Facebook. Talk to your neighbor about it. Let them know about the Rim Country Community Wildfire Symposium, April 12th. It starts opens up at 8 o'clock. Presentations start at 9. Hopefully we'll see you out there. Well, thank you everyone for listening and watching. Thank you to One Time Plumber for sponsoring our KRIM Community Spotlight program. Time to get back to the music with some Loverboy, Leonard Skinner, Elton John, and more. But first, let's get an update from the National Weather Service.
With this morning's KRIM weather forecast, no incidents surrounding your area.
There you go.